All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And this is the brother Kwara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson, and Lord willing, it do be edifying. And this is impromptu. I was sitting here listening to the not Apostle Aram, but the Apostle Gabal. He going live right now. And it's something he said that, sparked my spirit to want to go ahead and do this lesson. But he was talking about how, Babylon the Great, America will be the place. Well, he was going into how America and Israel, will be the places on earth that will be destroyed. You see? That will be destroyed. And then he made the point, he said how it's going to be a controlled demolition. A controlled demolition. And that's what sparked my spirit. Because, that's a term that Esau used. That's a term of this world with Esau, his explosives, when him destroying places. For example, 9/11. Yeah, 9/11. That's an example. But I'm going to read the definition too, but that's exactly what America is going to be. You see? It's all the plans already drawn up. And it's cold because a controlled demolition, and I'm just thinking, I ain't no engineer or nothing like that, but, you can have, say, downtown, let's use 9/11. But say you have two buildings or building, and you got to just, destroy that one. You can have it to where they could take down just that building to where it don't fall to the left, right, front, or back. It just all go down. You see? It just all fall down in this particular order, right? Now, the thing is, you can have the other buildings around still standing, and that started getting me, getting my mind going, because that's how America gonna be. Babylon the Great, America, as far as we know it, as far as Bible prophecy, will be destroyed. The whole earth won't be destroyed, but America will. You still gonna have a Central South America. You still gonna have islands around. I'm sure you still gonna have Canada. So look, the Lord still gonna have other places around, other land masses around, but just this one where Babylon the Great will be taken out. Even over there in the east, Israel. You see? You still gonna have, I'm sure some places around there. I don't know how far, the circumference of it, how, much the Lord gonna destroy. But for example, and I don't know, but I'm just using an example. You might have that particular land of Israel destroyed, but up there towards like Lebanon, it might not be. But the point is, right, that's a controlled demolition. The Lord have specific spots in the earth that he gonna take out. That he gonna take out, and he already have it written. Just like Esau have his plans. You think 9/11 he planned that the morning of September 11th? You see? Whatever that, yeah. He been had it in the books, right? The Lord been got the plans in the books. But let's get this definition real quick. I'm doing a little walk and talk, so Salah give it some background noise. I got leaves around, so if y'all hear me probably walking through leaves, I'm gonna try not to. But let's get this definition. This on ChatGPT. Let's get the chat real quick. It says, I put, what does controlled demolition mean? It says controlled demolition means a structure is intentionally taken down in a planned, engineered way, usually using explosives, right? Ain't the Lord gonna use missiles, explosives? It says, and we gonna show that specifically the Lord want those explosives to go towards Babylon. He want them to fly towards Babylon, man. This is it says usually using explosives or precise structural weakening, and that's another thing the Lord doing. First, he weakened the structure, weakening the foundations of Babylon right now. As far as morally, he dividing this place. The politics all divided, so on and so forth. They about to break down this system, bring the digital system. So he doing that, but ultimately he gonna use those explosives. So it says it's not a random destruction, it's calculated. It said what it involves. It says engineers study the building structure, the steel frame, concrete supports, and load points. It says, and specific columns or supports are weakened or fitted with explosives. It says the charges are timed in a precise sequence, milliseconds apart. And that's cool because the Lord got the exact day this place gonna be time. It's time. Even the missiles, when they shoot off, it's gonna be a perfect time, a certain order, right? That they gonna be shot in. We'll get that, Lord willing, enjoy the second chapter. You know, like I said, it's an impromptu. So I ain't really got no precepts or nothing written down, but you know, Spirit gonna do his thing, Lord willing. But it says building collapses inward or into a designated zone to avoid damaging nearby structures. And that's what Babylon the Great, gonna be. Babylon the Great in Israel, that's exactly what it's gonna be. A controlled demolition to the point it ain't go damage certain. Now again, the Lord may have missiles hit other places around the world, right? But as far as him hitting his exact target, that's what's gonna happen. And we gonna get that target as Babylon, man. Let's get Joel the second chapter real quick. And it got more. And it says explosion. Explosives are used so the building falls mostly straight down into its footprint. And that's what Babylon gonna do. You see? Collapse right within itself, man. It says, it says, why is done. I'll read this last part. We can get the scriptures. Why is done. It says to remove unsafe buildings. You know, the scriptures often liken people, nations as trees, you know, different things. Well, we likening Babylon as a building in this one. You see? And this unsafe building need to be removed. It's a cancer in the earth. It got what that is. Asbestos all in it, seeping all from it. It says to clear space for new development, you know, which once America get destroyed, that's it. That's it and that's all. Never will be built. But we can use this one for Israel. Because once that one get hit, all what they got over there, the gold, the golden so-called temple they got, you know, what they think the Mount of Olives and all these different churches, right, that's going to be clear for new development. You know, so we can build the headquarters of Israel over there in our land, man. And it says to take down structures too unstable. So let's get Joel the second chapter. This is Joel 2. And I'm going to start at, let's see where I'm going to get the KJV. Let me get both. I might jump to the NLT. KJV, NLT. Let's get that. And I'm going to start. Now, this is going into the day of the Lord, right? The day those missiles going to hit. Matter of fact, before we get that, let's get Jeremiah. Because the Lord won't... Let's get where he want these nations to point the missiles at for World War III. It's Jeremiah 50. Bear with me. Jeremiah 50. And... all right, maybe in 51. All right, here we go. Jeremiah 50, and I'm going to just start at 13. It says, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. Going into America. And by way of this judgment, this is how we know it's not talking about the ancient Babylon. Because the ancient Babylon didn't get destroyed. You see, it's still here today. That show a modern day Iraq, right? But it's still here today. You got ruins of the actual ancient Babylon you can go visit as a tourist site. You know, the Persians and the Medes just came in. This modern day Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is America, this one will be destroyed by fire. This is the one that the Lord got written for that judgment. So read on, it says, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. And that's the same judgment I have for Revelation 18. Babylon the Great, that great city, that last heathen empire to rule before the Lord come back, or should I say, when the Lord come back. And it's the point. It says, verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend a bow, shoot at her, right? So this the Lord telling the nations, all you who got that bow, that arrow, in other words, modern terms, missiles. You see, they ain't had the terminology we have today. Jeremiah he ain't right about, and I seen intercontinental, ballistic missiles, and you go to the blue letter and you looking at intercontinental ballistic missiles in the Hebrew. No, man, they had what they spoke on what they had in their time. So he used arrows, or he talking about bending a bow. You see, it says, put yourselves, which is these nations, in array against Babylon, against America, round about all ye that bend a bow, all you nations who have missiles, shoot at her, spare no arrows. So we go into when these missiles shot off, they got a specific mark and target that they gonna hit. And the Lord's main target is America, man. And you got to think it makes so much sense. Look at just America history. The way it came up as a nation through oppression and blood. And you see all the wickedness and slavery. Think about this and how great this place have become with technology and, just this entertainment and money and the richest, as it say, Babylon the Great would be in the end. The point is, as great as America have gotten, when you look at ancient empires and when they got great and today, they climax, it was a judgment. So seeing we here, you think America just about to continue on? Like it ain't nothing that's gonna come to this place after it put the Lord chosen people through captivity, after it cheated the whole world, destroyed the world, destroying space, and blaspheming the Lord. You don't think it's going to be no judgment? Right, it is. And it's going to be a controlled judgment. You see? A controlled judgment. Now, we're reading right here, the Lord telling the nations, look, I want you to point your arrows and shoot at this place. And we going to get in Joel too. Once these things are shot, they're going to hit a specific mark, man. They're going to hit the specific target. It's controlled. Let's read on. It's a lot, give them all over the place, But it says, Jeremiah 50:14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord. It says, shout against her round about, she have given her hand, for her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. Right? So the Lord got these nations focused on America, which lines up with prophecy. In Obadiah, which is one chapter, but Obadiah 1, it goes into how even American allies go turn on them. Revelation 17, the beast shall hate the whore. So you see all nations in this process right now focus on America, taking this place out. You see, taking this place out. Let's get Joel the 2nd chapter real quick. Got the birds in the background. Let's get Joel 2. It's lagging my phone, going a little slow. It's Joel 2. And I'm going to hold that. And I'm going to get this 2nd Ezra real quick. Right? But let's get Joel the 2nd chapter. So there's Joel 2. Now again, it's going into the day of the Lord. That's when America will be destroyed. And Israel. It says, where I'm going to start at? I'm going to just start at 1. Joel 2:1. KJV, and I might hit the NLT. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread, and why? Because it's going to be a lot of smoke on that day. You're going to have from the missiles, from the fire. You also going to have chariots, the chariots of the Lord. Shit, it might be Yahweh Shai chariot himself, cover the sun. Scriptures say that. It's pretty much how the sun and the moon pretty much going to be ashamed and embarrassed at Yahweh Shai coming. Because they ain't going to shine like that. They ain't going to shine like that, man. Right? But the point is going into the day the missiles hit. Now, watch this. Just to show it's all controlled and it can't be stopped. It says, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Now, what it's going into, it says a great army right here. Now, it's not actually talking about a literal army with men, with people. You know, it's going into the Lord's army, part of the Lord's army, which are those missiles. You know, what the scriptures say, the Lord, he opened his armory, you know, roughly paraphrasing, and how he also made the blacksmith to create the missiles, roughly paraphrasing. But let's continue in the NLT, Joel 2 in the NLT. And again, so it's going into the missiles. Now, after it tells us it's talking about the missiles, it's going to describe what's going to happen when they come. So again, it says, like the dawn spreading across the mountains, a great and mighty army appears. Nothing like it has been seen before or will ever be seen again. And that's telling you it's not talking about actual armies or people. Because it says nothing like it have been seen before. It's been armies since the ancient times, right? And you still gonna look, you gonna have the house of David that's gonna rule, and Yahweh Shai gonna be on the throne. And he said he a man of war too, like his father. So the point is, army's always gonna be here, but it's not talking about that. It's talking about missiles. Missiles have never been shot off as far as a world war. And once this is done, it's never going to happen again. Let's continue. It says, fire burns in front of them and flames follow after them. Ahead of them, the land lies as beautiful as the Garden of Eden. It says, and behind them is nothing but desolation, right? Before they hit, you have water, you have trees, you have beautiful scenery. But once they hit, it's desolation. It says, and nothing escapes them. They look like horses. They charge forward like war horses. Look at them as they leap along the mountaintops. Listen to the noise they make, like the rumbling of chariots, like the roar of fire sweeping across a field of stubble, or like a mighty army moving into battle. Boy, that's going to be a day. It says, fear grips all the people, and every face grows pale with terror. Man, imagine this day. This is going to be the last day of Jacob's trouble. You see, last day of Jacob's trouble. This is going to be the day everybody literally meet their maker. Because the Heavenly Father ain't make nobody but his son, right? The son coming. You see, everybody go meet their maker. The same time, they go see missiles falling, angels and UFO. Man, look. So it says, fear grips all the people. Every face grows pale with terror. The attackers, which are the missiles, march like warriors and scale city walls like soldiers. Straight forward they march, never breaking rank. No, look, and this goes into the control part. They ain't gonna break no rank. They ain't gonna be shot out of order. The Lord got each missile set for the time he want them to be shot and a place that he want them to hit. It says, never breaking rank. They never jostle each other. So out of all these missiles that's going to be shot off in the world by these different nations, none of them go hit each other. None of them go run into each other, bump each other, you see, and hit each other and blow up in the air before they hit their target, before it gets to America, before it gets to Israel. None of them go bump each other, man. Let's go into that word jostle, though. Just, you know, jostle, Jostle. It says to push, elbow, bump against. It's controlled. It's controlled, man. Think about this again. Out of all the nations that's going to shoot off missiles, just even Russia, out of the many they going to shoot, none of them in the world, no matter where they shot from, going to the same place, not going to hit each other. Come on, man. It says they never jostle each other. Each moves in exactly the right position. They break through defenses without missing a step. So missile defense systems, not a chance. With Israel, the Iron Dome, not a chance. You see, Trump talking about building a Golden Dome, not a chance. Ain't no missile defense systems gonna stop the destruction of the Lord, man. Again, it's controlled. It's all written already. Matter of fact, we're reading it right now. We're reading the blueprint and everything right now. It says, each moves in exactly the right position. They break through defenses without missing a step. Man, they swarm over the city and run along its walls. They enter the houses, climb like thieves through the windows. The earth quakes as they advance, and the heavens tremble. Come on, man. It says, the sun and the moon grow dark, and the stars no longer shine. And check this out. And the Lord, who is that? Who gonna be sent with him? Yahweh Shai, because it's his day. It says, and the Lord is at the head of the column. Yahweh Shai gonna be leading these things, man. Think about that. That's gonna be a fire pick. You know, look, that's gonna be a little gift from me to Yahweh Shai in the kingdom, you know? You know, I'm gonna blow up a picture, you know. Yeah, when he came, look, that's gonna be a fire pick. Picture that though. But picture that. You gonna have the Lord on his chariot. He gonna be on top of his, right? Behind him, you got other chariots, angels in their chariots. And it ain't just the regular UFOs you see on movies, man. It's gonna be so much more glorious and spectacular than that, man. You know? And then you gonna have missiles coming too. Man, that's gonna be a day. You see? That's gonna be a day. That'll be a fire pick though. But it says, and the Lord is at the head of the column. He leads them with the shout. Like Isaiah 42 say. Right? He gonna be crying like a travailing woman. We think we ready. Come on, man. Yahweh Shai ready. He been waiting on this way longer than us. It said he leads them with the shout. This is his mighty army, and they follow his orders. The day of the Lord is an awesome, terrible thing. Who can possibly survive? Come on, man. And that's going to be a day. That's going to be the day of days. You know, that's going to be the end of Jacob's trouble. But look, let's get this, though. In 2 Ezra 15. Because, yeah, they flying in the air, but we ain't get who the Lord said they going to hit. This 2 Ezra 15, and it's going into World War III as well. It says, I'm going to start at 40. 2 Ezra 15 and 40. It says, the great and mighty clouds shall be puffed up full of wrath, and the star that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place a horrible star. And it's going into those missiles here. And it says fire and hell and flying swords. What is that? Missiles. What's the flying swords? Missiles. Let's see because we just read in Joel 2, as they flying, they ain't gonna hit each other. They ain't no defense system gonna stop them. So as they flying, let's see where the Lord want these things to go. Because remember, he did say point them at Babylon. Let's see if the nations gonna listen. Right? It says fire and hell and flying swords and many waters, that all fields may be full and all rivers with the abundance of great waters. And they shall break down the cities. Look, it's saying the same thing we just read in Joel, the 2nd chapter. In Joel 2, it says that the army that was going to break down walls, run over into windows and destroy the city. This saying the same thing because it's talking about the same event. It says, and they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood and grass of the meadows and their corn. And they, what's the they again? The flying swords. It says, and they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon. Come on, man. So when these things in the air, the Lord got a control to go exactly to Babylon, America, and also Israel. But we talking about the big dog. You see? The one who calling the shots. The Lord, America, man. It says, and they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon and make her afraid, and they shall come to her and besiege her. The star and all wrath shall they pour out upon her, and then shall the dust and smoke go up unto heaven, and all they that be about her shall be well. The same thing as not second Esdras, but in Revelation the 18th chapter. Once America is hit with these missiles, nations round about, shipmen in the sea, they could be looking scared, waves, waves says, especially if they're in the sea, look, the earth gonna shake. It'll be big waves hitting them, right? They're gonna be scared, seeing that destruction. But the point is, the Lord at the end, he got the destruction of America is already set. It's going to be controlled. And this to show you have places around who going to see the destruction that haven't been destroyed. Who going to watch America get taken out, man. And that's exactly the times that we coming in. And you can't deny that America is Babylon the Great. You see, it's clearly Babylon the Great, and it's obvious that a judgment is waiting for this very place that we living in, man. Something got to happen. Out of all that this place have done, something got to happen. You see, and we at that point, man. Matter of fact, I ended on this. Just to show, look, the Lord, everything that we seen, everything that happened in the past, everything that's planned out now, and everything that we about to see is all the plans of the Lord, man. It's all the plans of the Lord. You see, and especially the destruction of America, it ain't gonna be a coincidence that America and Israel got hit with missiles and taken out. You know? No, it's all the plans of the Lord. We won't get that. I'm gonna start at 23. We're into this Jeremiah 30 and 23 says, behold, the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Verse 24. It says, the fierce anger of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. Let me read it again. I might read another translation too. It says, the fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it, man. So everything that's happening, you know, the breaking down of Babylon when missiles hit this place, so much so that when all these missiles be shot off, none of them go hit each other. That shows it's controlled. It's controlled from on high, man, from a higher power. Let's read the NLT. We could take it out. Jeremiah 30 and 23, and verse 24 in the NLT. It says, look, the Lord's anger bursts out like a storm, a driving wind that swirls down on the heads of the wicked. Right? Chariots, missiles, everything. But this is going into the chariots. But as we read in Joel 2, missiles go come with that. Verse 24. It says, the fierce anger of the Lord will not diminish until it has finished all that he has planned. Come on, man. It's controlled. It says, until it has finished all that he has planned. In the days to come, you will understand this. And we clearly understand it now. We see what's written. It makes so much sense. Habakkuk 2 is speaking. And again, if what we saying ain't the truth, then what is? Why is things happening the way it is, and tell us what's going on if what we saying don't make sense, you know? But I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Like I said, the Apostle Cabal, I'm about to get back into it, but he was going into a lesson, and he said that America will be a controlled demolition, you know, and that kind of sparked my spirit. But hey, Lord willing, again, you know, this lesson was edifying, and with that, shalom.